Well, hello, beloved. It's me, Coach Carmen, the Kingdom Health, Purpose, and Wealth Coach and founder of SharingTheBliss.com, where we take you on a joyful journey to holistic health, purpose, and wealth with programs that help you to soothe your soul, heal your body, turn your pain into power, and your purpose into prosperity. Well, good morning. Hey, Denise. Yes, so I am here because I wanted to talk to you about a subject that's been really rearing its ugly head a lot lately, and I just had it like so close to my heart. I just wanted to share with you some thoughts and to encourage and inspire and to bless you today. Today is Manifestation Monday, so I'm going to jump right into it. On Saturday, I was one of the facilitators for breakout sessions we had at a workshop that the phenomenal women, they had this awesome workshop. It was called Finding Me Again. And the main speaker, Sheila Frazier, she was amazing. So it was myself and Naomi Jones. We were the two facilitators for the breakout sessions. And what I did was I had everyone there fill out this form that I always have people fill out whenever I'm doing any type of event. And it's a way for me to get to know a person better, to have them fill out an assessment form, whether it's health and wellness or business and bliss or purpose and prosperity. So everyone filled out the form. When I got home and I was looking at the forms, and I have some questions, that, some tick boxes that they can tick that would relate to their situation. And I was so amazed at the fact that close to 90% of the people that were there, and this is not just to say because of the type of people that were there. I believe that this would happen across the board wherever I would be, wherever I would be in America right now. 90% of the people, close to 90%, ticked the box that said that they needed help with their mind and their emotions, with their mind and their emotions. And that really, I have to admit, it saddened me. I was pretty surprised that so many people had issues with their mind and emotions. Now, I shouldn't be that surprised because generally that tends to be the dominating issue. You know, health issues and mind and emotions. Usually they run neck and neck. But this was like the mind and emotions far exceeded the physical issues that people were having. So let's say hi. Let's see. Hey, Peggy. Hi, Joseph. Tamela. Andrea. Mark. Good morning, or good afternoon. It's good afternoon now. So I did a talk a couple of years ago about oppression, and it is a very powerful talk. The Holy Spirit was working with me, and I had one of my team members, in fact, my business manager, Denise Beecham, she was on the call too, and together, you know, we just did this awesome talk. I had her come in to talk as well, and it was about oppression. It was so powerful, and I would like to bless you with that teaching. If you just message me and say, Coach Carmen, I want the teaching, give me your email address and phone number, all right, and I'll send it to you. I was listening to it again last night because I actually sent it as a gift to everyone who filled out that form on Saturday, because I just wanted to do something immediately to help support those who said, yes, my mind and my emotions are my biggest issue. So let's talk about overcoming the spirit of depression. Now, most of you know that depression is a spirit. Many people don't know that, though. Many people think of it as just some type of issue that they have in their emotions and their mind, and it's all about them and, you know, what's wrong with me. They don't look at it as a spirit, as a demonic spirit, as an entity that can be dealt with. And if you think that depression is just all about you and your mind and the things that you're thinking and the life that you've led, the circumstances you've dealt with in your life, that's why, the only reason why you're depressed. Why is it that there are other people who have gone through those things or similar and they're not depressed? Or, they don't live in depression, or they don't have bouts of depression. I myself, believe it or not, when I was in my 20s, I was still in college. I was going through a rough time in my life where my sister, who I was living with at the time, she decided that she didn't want me to live with her anymore. And I guess the apartment was getting a little too small because her then boyfriend, who is now her husband, was her husband. My sister has passed on now, but he moved in, and after a while, she wanted me to leave, and I was still in college, and it was just a really tough time for me. On the other side of that, I had spent a whole year as Miss Black Staten Island, New York. I had won awesome beauty pageant, and I was invited to, I actually represented New York in the Miss Black USA beauty pageant in Dallas, Texas. I mean, I had all these wonderful things going on, but at the same time, it was a time in my life where the negative situation overshadowed the positive, so much so that I ended up spiraling into depression. And the depression was like, you hear about people who seem like they have it all going on, they just have it going on, and what kind of issues could they have? And then you hear about them, like, even committing suicide. Let's talk about it. I actually had some of those thoughts in my mind back then, which is crazy. I mean, when I think about it now, I'm like, oh my God, what? But yes, I did. But thank God I knew enough about the God that I served. I knew enough about him that even though I had, because it was a buildup of things, my mother had passed on when I was 14 years old. And, and to be honest with you, I had a familiar spirit. And that's what I want to talk to you about, this depression that we think many times is just something that happens to us. Is a spirit. It's a demonic spirit. And it is a familiar spirit. So it's familiar with you. It's familiar with your family. It's familiar with who you are. And it even knows the plans, some of the plans that God has for you. It knows. Well, it's been sent out by Satan to attack you and to keep you from living your destiny, to keep you from living the life that God created you to live. So for me, I always, for many, many years, I felt like a gloom and doom spirit. Like I had this gloom and doom spirit that kind of followed me around. And what it was really just attacking my mind. It would make me feel melancholy and sad. And, just sometimes certain music would just make me feel so sad. And, thank God I grew out of that. And I know that it just came to a head during that time in my 20s when I was really going through depression. And it was a short time. It didn't last for very long, thank God. But it was still, I remember the feeling. And I'm glad that I had that experience because it makes me more sensitive to others who may be going through depression and oppression. If I didn't have that experience, I wouldn't be able to understand. And it's important to understand it. Unfortunately, most people know that feeling because, like I said, such a large percentage of people in this country are experiencing depression. So you know that feeling. You know when nothing can really make you happy, or you just have that foreboding feeling like something bad is going to happen at any time. And let's talk about the other elephant in the room, and that is, the times that we live in. The fact that, in America, we have a president that has mental issues himself. So that's kind of to try to keep yourself on the straight and narrow, keep your mind, clear and at peace. It's a little difficult when the leader of the country has issues. But what we have to remember is that we are in the world, but not of the world. That is very important to understand, beloved. And that's one of the keys of overcoming oppression and depression. To understand who you are, whose you are, and the fact who you are and whose you are, and the fact that you live in this natural world, but you are not subject. You don't have to be subject to all of the natural world's mess and mayhem, because you are a kingdom citizen. That's number one. You are a kingdom citizen. You are in this mess, but you are not of this mess. The second thing, well, I could say that that's number two, because number one should be to know that you are dealing with a spirit, that you are dealing with a demonic entity. Number one, you're dealing with a demonic entity. Number two, you're in this world, but you're not of it. So you do not have to allow the world's mess and mayhem to come into your head and to go down into your heart and to root itself in your soul and to take you out of the game. Because that's exactly what the enemy wants. That's his plan and his plot. That's why he assigned that demon spirit to you. That's why he assigned that demon spirit to me. I mean, it was having me think these thoughts, crazy thoughts. Crazy thoughts. But when you know your adversary, when you know what you're dealing with and who you're dealing with, you can fight. When you know that it is something that's a thing, you can deal a lot better once you know that you're dealing with a thing. It's not just your head. It's not just your emotions. There's something warring against your mind. Let me see who this is. Hey, Naja. Hello, Pierre. Hi, Shar. Hi, Eva. Warring against your mind. And so let's go back. Number one, it is a spirit. Number two, we live in a world, but not of the world. So we don't have to be subject to the world's mess and mayhem. Number three, you really have to do some inner work, some soul work. That's why the 28-day body and soul detox, that program, the first part of the program, and really it is the overarching piece of the program when you think about it. That's the soul work of the 28-day body and soul detox, the soul work. Because it's in the soul is the mind, the will, and the emotions, right? So if a person is saying that their mind and their emotions are, out of control, that means that they have soul issues. Remember, I was saying that that demonic spirit that is bringing on that depression knows you personally, familiar spirit. So it knows the soul issues. It knows what you've been through. It knows that you may have been sexually abused. It knows that your father may have left you, when you were 7 years old and got remarried and never came back to see you or to take care of you. It knows whatever it is, those things that hurt, those things that are affecting you, even if it's not outwardly, even if you're not aware of them, they're working in the background. And sometimes they can stay dormant. But then something can trigger them and they start to activate again. Well, the enemy knows how to activate, that demonic spirit knows how to activate those soul issues. And sometimes you'll be doing fine, feeling really good, everything is right with the world. And then all of a sudden, something triggers or something happens to someone who you love, and it's like a floodgate of just negative feelings and emotions, and you just can't shake it, and it's like that spirit tries to open up all those doors, all of those soul doors in the back of your mind, the back of your, back there, your subconscious that you're not even aware of. But we have a solution. God has not left us here on this earth without power. He has not left us here without a savior. He did not leave us here without empowerments. But beloved, we have to use our empowerments. We have to be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Do you know that depression has a lot to do with, it's all about pressing someone down. It's about keeping you down. It's about keeping you away from the light, keeping you in the darkness, keeping you in a place of just low energy. And what is God? God is the opposite. He is light. He is light. He is life. He is brightness. He is high vibrational, high frequency. Depression is designed to keep you away from that light. So what do? You have to do whatever you can to stay in that light. You have to do everything you can to receive that light. And one of the things that I often say, in fact, I think may have been yesterday, I put out, was it yesterday or the day before, my Jesus Calling devotional. And I just, I take a picture of it and post it on Instagram and Facebook. But a day or two ago, I had posted one of those Jesus Calling devotionals, and I said, affirm this. I like to ask you to affirm, to say an affirmation based on that Jesus Calling. And I was saying how one thing I said was, I think today I said, I love you and I trust you. Just say, God, I love you and I trust you. God, I love you and I trust you. And the other day I was saying to affirm, the light of divine love is burning away every unwanted thing in my mind, in my body, and in all of my affairs. The light of divine love is burning away every unwanted thing in my mind, in my body, and in all of my affairs. And that's a powerful and a beautiful affirmation that you can say throughout the day, because you need to activate that light. You need to activate that light. This is real. It is real. It's a real substance. We're talking about substance. And I'm going to read something to you by Wallace D. Wattles about substance. When I'm here for Manifestation Monday, I like to talk about faith, substance, and how faith is a substance. The Bible says faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Faith is substance, but so is fear. Fear is substance. Hello, sweet Cheyenne. She said, hey, Coach Carmen. Hey, Odessa. Hi, Ray. So fear is substance. You could say the opposite. Fear is a substance of things, of things you don't want, but it's the evidence of things not seen that you don't want. You say you don't want it, but you're attracting it and bringing it into physical form by impressing your thoughts on it, by thinking about it, by being fearful of it. That fear is creating what you're fearful of. And that's how depression works. There's just so much in this thing of depression, and it's a billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar industry. Do you know how much money is made because people are going to the doctors and saying, doctor, I'm depressed, before they even go to God and say, God, help me. Help me, heal my soul, Jesus. I know you died on Calvary's cross for my healing, for every issue, everything, physical, mental, emotional. You died on Calvary's cross that I may be free and redeemed. And this is not of you. And it's not, if it's not of you, then it's of the enemy. And I cast down anything that is not of you. And you have to talk to that thing as if it is a real thing, because it is. And you say, spirit of depression, I bind you in Jesus' name. You have no place in my mind. My mind is filled with light. My soul is filled with light. The light of divine love is burning you out. You have no place. I plead the blood over my mind. And you have to be aggressive. This is spiritual warfare. It's spiritual warfare. You cannot be passive, beloved, because the medical matrix, they're like, oh, feeling depressed? I got you. Okay, so I'm going to prescribe. We'll start with some Paxil. Okay, it's a cute little pink pill. You're going to like this one. It's going to make you feel so good and so relaxed. You're not going to think about those oppressive, depressive feelings anymore. You're just going to feel like, yeah, a little la la land. Everything's going to be so much better. You just take one of these a day and you start taking the Paxil. And after a while, because your neurons are being altered, your brain is changing. Your brain is actually changing. Thank you for the love. Who says, Kelly? Hi, Kelly. Hey, Kelly. Your brain is altered. And the natural, all of the natural and God-made chemicals, endorphins, and all of these wonderful things that are naturally designed to activate when you're feeling down, no longer has the power to work for you, because thank you for the love and the thumbs up, because the medication is dominating the system. The medication is saying, no. We got this. We don't need you. We don't need all of these natural endorphins, and no, we don't need you. We have something else that's going to make her better. It's going to make him better. And after a while, this is something I don't really talk about like this, because it's deep, it's controversial, and that's why I want you to get that talk that I did about oppression. But I will say that the enemy, many of these medications, just listen to the names of them. Clomazepam, Zoloft. They sound like demons. Many of them, what they do is they actually close up your mind, where the light is hard for the light to penetrate into your soul. and it darkens it. So it gives you that feeling of feeling good, but at the same time, it's taking you away from being able to receive truly God's light. And the enemy, the demonic spirits can really work you more when you're on all these medications. And I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about because I watched my sister. I watched her die after being on these medications for like 15 years. And it was one after the next, because once one thing starts to, like the demon spirits working your mind, they start to get used to the situation, whatever medication you're on, they'll start to bring in some other friends. And now you have some other issues, and you're not really feeling relief. You're not feeling relief from the oppression and the depression. Then you have to take something else, a booster medication they'll prescribe. And now from Paxil, you're on Zoloft. And the next thing you know, you're on clonazepam. What I want to say as a disclosure, and I always say this, is you hear from God. If God tells you to take it, then take it. If God did not tell you to take it, you better listen to him. And the most important thing is to go to God first and do your spiritual work. This is warfare. You're dealing with an entity. You're dealing with a demonic spirit that is not, he has no jurisdiction. He has no right to you. If you are a child of the Most High God, he has no right to your mind, to your soul. Your soul belongs to God, Jehovah Jireh, our provider. Your soul belongs to El Elyon, the Most High God, Elohim, the God of power and of might, El Shaddai, Lord God Almighty. It does not belong to the enemy. But you have to rise up within yourself, and you cannot be lazy. You have to do some work. You have to take all the scriptures about joy, all the scriptures about fear, even. Fear not scriptures. I was told that there's a scripture that says fear not, or something to do with not being fearful. Like there's 365 scriptures in the Bible about fear not. One for every day of the week. Every day of the year, actually. So God knew that we were going to have an adversary here. And he's the opposite of faith. He's not the opposite of God, because God, there's no opposite of God. God is too much of everything to have an opposite. But he tries to do everything that God does. He tries to reverse it. He tries to wicker it. So where there's faith, he tries to bring in fear. Let me just read this to you. It's about faith substance. I usually read this type of thing when I'm talking about bringing in financial abundance or, manifesting the desires of your heart. But it works the same with dealing with soul issues and depression. So it says, there is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which in its natural or original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought, which is substance, produces the thing that is imaged by that thought or imagined by that thought. A thought, which is substance, produces the thing that is imaged or imagined by that thought. A person can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance, can cause that thing he thinks about to be created. So, what are you thinking about? If you're thinking about things that are going to bring oppression and depression, that is what you're going to create. Hello, Patricia. She says, powerful. Thank you, sweetheart. So the more you think about the things that you don't want, the more you think about the things that are scary, painful, hurtful, you're impressing depression, impression. You're creating an impression in the formless substance, creating a substance. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Fear is a substance. It's a substance. You don't see it, but it becomes a reality in your life. Whatever that thing is will become a reality in your life if you continue to press your thoughts up against it. You keep pressing your thoughts. That's why the Bible talks so much about thinking of good things. Fear not, and talking about joy and calling those things that be not as though they are, and so much to give us the reinforcements that we need to be able to stand against the wiles of depression. So I'm just going to quickly just give you some things. These are things I always talk about. I know, just go to youtube.com/sharing the bliss. And, you can subscribe to my YouTube videos. I have a lot of teachings, Manifestation Monday playlist. You can just do a search for on YouTube, hashtag Manifestation Monday, and my Manifestation Mondays videos should come up. But one of the things that is so important to do is to watch your mouth and to stop speaking what you don't want. Because every time you do, you are opening the door for more of what you're going through to come in, beloved. In the audio that I want to give you, when you give me your phone number and your email address, message me. One of the things I do, I tell the story. So I tell a couple of stories, but one story I love to talk about, and it's in that particular audio teaching, is when Joyce Meyer told the story of how she, had a lot of stuff going on in her life that she was overcoming as she was developing in Christ. And she had a lot of anger issues. So when she would get mad at her husband, she'd be super mad. Like, she would be super mad. And that's one of the things that you have to be careful of. If you have anger issues, if you use a lot of profanity, you are opening the door for depression, that spirit of depression. Yes, you are. And in that audio, I talk about all the different ways we open up the door for depression to come in, that spirit, and how to close the door. But I'm giving you a couple of things right now, how to close the door. But I want to just finish telling you about Joyce. So she was arguing with her husband. And, Dave Meyer is a very low-key person. And, sometimes when you have someone in your life that's low-key, you don't know how to shut up. And you just keep, especially if somebody, well, either way, if you have that personality, you're going to, whatever excuse you have to keep being in that mindset of being upset and angry and whatever. So he left the room. And I think it was in their bedroom. He left the room, and she was still arguing with herself, with him. He wasn't even in the room. She was like, yeah, see, now you're going to leave the room. You're going to leave the room right when I'm saying what I have to say. You always do that. You're not, taking what I'm saying seriously, on and on and on and on. I mean, she was going off. And she said, in a corner, and just a corner of her eye, she, with her peripheral vision, she saw the shadow figure walking towards her. And she said it was hunched over, the hands were stretched out, and it was creeping towards her. And she said, like the fear of God came into her mouth and her mind, and she was like, oh, in the name of Jesus, I rebuke you. Oh, thank you, Father God. Thank you for your blessings. I'm a child of Most High God. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. And she was just letting it rip. She was so fearful. And she said she didn't even want to really look at this thing, but she could see from the corner of her eye that it was moving back. It was moving back, backing up. See, these are things that we don't see in the natural realm, but they are real in the spirit realm. And the spirit realm is more real than the natural realm. Yes, it is. This is the Jonah, Monique. Hello, sweetie. The spirit realm is more real than the natural realm, which means that we need to be doing more spiritual work. I call it the work we do before we go to work. We need to be doing more spiritual work because it's in the spirit realm. Thank you, Cheyenne. It's in the spirit realm where we wrestle. In the spirit realm. That's why we put on the whole armor of God. It's not a visible armor, but it is visible in the spirit realm. And I would say, let's go back to that. Let's go back to taking time in the morning and verbalizing all of the spirit, all of the what do you call it? Armor that we have been given by God. Praise God. He gave us some armor. Why aren't we using it? Why aren't we putting on the breastplate of righteousness? Why aren't we putting on the helmet of salvation? Why aren't we tightening the belt of truth and shodding our feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace? Why are we not holding the shield of faith with which we can quench every fiery dart of the wicked one? Why aren't we taking the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God? We are living in a time where you have to be armed, beloved. I really feel the need to come back this week, figure out which would be a good day to do it. But, it's one of the things that's been very heavy on my heart is this human trafficking thing and how so many women and children are being abducted. This is freaking insane. And the fact that you don't see it on TV, you see everything else, but you don't see that on TV. And that we can't even go to the supermarket at night, women who work in the evening, and the sun goes down early now. So the women who work in the evening, they can't even go to the supermarket at night without being fearful that somebody's going to snatch them. That is crazy. Beloved, we must be empowered in this hour. We must take time to put on that whole armor and call in that light and call in our warrior angels. That's what I do. I pray for you. I pray that the warrior angels stand up and rise up around us, children of the Most High God, and that they take their place, and that no demon-possessed person is going to be able to take us, take you, take your child, because the angels are there. The angels will protect us, but you got to call on them. You got to call on them. You have to claim your protection. You have to plead the blood over yourself and your children. Oh, you have to take communion. I talk about these things and anoint them. So I have my spiritual blend oil, and I tease and I say, and that's not really a tease. I tell people, don't leave home without this. Don't leave home without this spiritual blend. Let's see. Oh, got it backwards, sorry. Because put a cross on your forehead, on your wrist, and you have to leave your house armed. You have to leave your house anointed. Because it's crazy out there now, beloved. This is no joke. It is no joke. That's why God has given me the Healed Whole Body and Soul Total Life Transformational Coaching Program. Because what I do with my women is I empower them. Every month we have an intensive with a guidebook with materials each week we go through. So every area of their lives, they are building themselves up. They are becoming empowered. Because some of the stuff you're not going to get in a sermonette, duet, step outside and smoke a cigarette. It's just not enough. It's important, but it's not enough, beloved. So, okay, let me really quick. I'm so sorry. I am like, woo, today. I'm very sensitive to this stuff. I'm very sensitive. So, arm yourself up. Put on the whole armor of God. Let the light shine. Confess that God's light is shining upon your path. Of course, you're praying in the spirit. You're watching your mouth. No more profanity. Stop it. Stop it. And yeah, that's a big part of it. Watch or let me know if you want that audio, because I have a lot more to say about this subject that I don't really want to say here. Okay, that will bless you. Do that. Message me, email address, and your phone number. All right. Okay, beloved. So that's it. That was enough, wasn't it? Ooh, Lord, that was. Ooh. Have a blessed day and connect with me. All right. Okay. Love you. Bye. Oh, hi, Tony Baker. Hi, Pastor Baker.